Hey everyone, it's Thursday, so time for another chocolate delivery to your YouTube inbox. Today I'm going to talk about a Japanese chocolate maker. You might be familiar with some Japanese chocolate makers. There are a few more craft chocolate makers around from Japan than there were a few years ago, like Minimal, Green Bean to Bar, Oro. Dandelion is in Japan now. But this one is kind of, the one that I'm going to talk about today is Meiji. And it is kind of like a Hershey's of Japan. But in the past few years, they have been releasing chocolate that has been winning awards at Craft Chocolate Awards. Competitions like the Academy of Chocolate competition and the International Chocolate Awards. So I thought I would talk to you about their products today. So I'm going to read you a little bit of a timeline because they do have a long history. So they started off in 1916 in Japan as the Tokyo Confectionery Company, which basically specialized in biscuits and in caramels, which is also how Hershey started. He was making caramels. 1917, the Kyokuto Condensed Milk Co. was founded. Now, in 1924, the Tokyo Confectionery Company changed their name to the Meiji Seika Kaisha Limited, and they started producing chocolate in 1926. They produce a milk chocolate in 1927. They make a Meiji milk chocolate. Meiji is a pretty popular chocolate. You'll see that pretty much all over in Japan and sometimes in Asian grocery stores here in North America. So in 1940, the Condensed Milk Company changed their name to Meiji Dairies. In 1975, they introduced these little doodads, the Kinoko no Yama, which basically means mushrooms. Hello Panda was then introduced in the 80s. You've also probably seen Pocky. That's a Meiji product as well. In 2009, the confectionery company and the dairy company merged together to become Meiji Holdings, and they also have a pharmaceutical company in there as well. In 2016, they had their 100th anniversary, so they've been around for a while. In 2014, they launched their The Chocolate line. I don't know that it was under this name when they launched it in 2014, but it didn't go over well. It didn't sell. They pulled it back. They revamped it. They launched The Chocolate in 2016. And in 2016, it went crazy and did more than they expected. It did 2 times as good as they expected, selling like 30 million bars in 1 year. So let's talk about chocolate in Japan for a minute. So Japan eats about 2 kilograms per person per year of chocolate. And for comparison, Germany eats 12 kilograms per person per year of chocolate. So there's a lot of growth for fine chocolate in Japan. Now, Japan has a candy culture, a strong candy culture. My sister lives in Japan right now, and she sends us Japanese candy all the time, which is so much fun. And we're so happy that she does that. So I've just got some laying around the house. So I've got this weird chocolate bar thing. Another thing made by Meiji Chocolates. Sometimes we get the Pop Cookin' candy kits. We have all kinds of Kit Kats. This one's a red bean Kit Kat. This one is a mint Kit Kat. Strawberry tiramisu, a cookies and cream Kit Kat, and this one is a wasabi Kit Kat. So all kinds of fun Kit Kat flavors. That's because Kit Kat outside of, you can't get these flavors as readily in the United States because Kit Kat outside of the United States is licensed to a different manufacturer than it is inside of the United States. So that's why they have all these amazing flavors in Japan that you cannot get at your regular grocery store in the United States. But they have lots of candy, lots of candy bars, just candy. Nothing that you would call craft chocolate, but there's lots of room for growth. So Japanese is kind of, Japan is kind of a weird mix of culinary cultures. So there's a lot of traditional Japanese flavors that are brought into things like the red bean bar. Red bean, azuki bean is something that you often find in sweets, ice cream, pastries. I forget what they call those little fish things that are filled with red bean. It's a mix of traditional Japanese flavors and of Western food traditions. It wasn't always this way. Japan had a long isolationist policy, but after World War II, chocolate became more popular. People think that it was because of the influence of American soldiers coming in and sharing American chocolate with the people in Japan. So you have this, in the 1970s and 1980s, you have Japanese students being trained in Europe with European culinary traditions, some of them coming back home to Japan, and then they have this mix of European and Japanese, and you get some really interesting flavors. One of the ones that I have from the Meiji chocolate is the Yuzu. I love Yuzu. So that's a traditional Japanese citrus flavor. Just a lot of traditional flavors mixed in with Western flavors. Another thing about Japan that is unique is that they have a lot of gift giving that goes on. It's kind of a way of life. There's gift giving for doing something, for receiving something, for all kinds of holidays. One holiday that's popular for chocolate is Valentine's Day. So different from the United States, Valentine's Day is a day when women give chocolate to men for love or for friendship or for respect. And often the quality of the chocolate depends on where you fall on that scale. So love is, you'd be getting the best chocolate. Friendship would be the next, and then respect would be like your grocery store chocolate. They have another holiday called White Days, which is when men give women white candy and white chocolate. So that is a place where gift giving comes in and where chocolate comes into gift giving. Another thing about the Japanese culture is packaging. If you've ever been lucky enough to visit Japan, you know that they're very meticulous about when you make a purchase, about wrapping it beautifully or carefully. There's a lot of thought that goes into packaging things in Japan. And that was one of the interesting things actually about the chocolate bar. So in 2016, the chocolate was launched. It was the second attempt. They sold much better than they expected to do. If you ever see a normal Meiji bar, it's this way and it just says Meiji chocolate or dark chocolate or Meiji dark. It's usually sideways. So this was kind of breaking the mold by having it vertically instead of horizontally. They came out with several bars, and my sister is my chocolate connection, so she sent me quite a few. I'm very grateful for that. So they have a 70%, they call it comfort bitter, a 51% velvet milk, 54% sunny milk. I love the names. I don't know what that means, but isn't it cool? This one is a 70% blossom bitter. Here's my 67% yuzu. Let's see, what else do I have? 55% brilliant milk. And then the elegant, the 70% elegant bitter. And then I have another one where you get a collection of all six. So if you go on the Meiji website, or actually not the Meiji website, they have a website for the chocolate. If you go on there, they will have their chocolate bars, and they have, on the back of their chocolate bars, maybe I'll flip this around and we'll do it when we're opening it. They have this little tasting web thing. It's in Japanese, but I'll tell you what the words say. And on their website, you can translate it into English as well. So let's flip the camera around and open one of the bars and see what they taste like. Okay, so if you look on the chocolate website, it talks about two guys that were involved with introducing this chocolate. Tetsuo Koyano, who is called the pioneer, and he joined Meiji in 1982 as a PhD in focusing on chocolate fats and oils. In 2015, he became the CEO of Meiji, and he's considered the father of the chocolate. The other guy is Hiroyuki Utsunomiya, which he's called the explorer. And he joined Meiji in 1993 in the product development team. And he spent a lot of time traveling the world to, I might open this one too, to find the best beans for these bars. So today I think I'm going to open a milk. I'm going to open this inclusion. And then I'm just going to open and look at the packaging on this one for fun. Okay, so let's talk about what it has on the back here. Actually, let's look at the front. So we have 51% cacao, dark milk, the chocolate, Meiji, velvet milk, bean to bar, 3 pieces. Made in Japan, velvet milk, I think that says nutty and umami. This is okay, so here we go. Here's where I have to use Google Translate. So something like, and if you've ever used Google Translate, you know it can be a little bit off. This says dark milk for adults to enjoy. This says there's 3 packages inside. Eat the scent of discerning cacao, nutty and milky, dense depths everywhere. Here we have the flavor wheel. So you've got floral, fruity, bitter, sweet, milky, sour, and nutty. So strong, we're going to have a strong milky, strong sweet, strong nutty, almost no flour or fruity. Okay, made in Japan. Here's our ingredients. We have cocoa mass, cocoa butter, sugar, milk powder, whole milk powder, and emulsifier. But it does here, it gives you an allergy warning of soy and milk, soy and dairy, so I'm guessing it's soy lecithin. We've got store at under 28 degrees Celsius. Careful, the package may cut you. Calories. Okay, and here's some awards that it's won. This dark milk has won an International Chocolate Award. It's also won an Academy of Chocolate Award as well. So you notice that this side is vertical, this side is the traditional horizontal. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Expect cute packaging. So kawaii. Alright, so here we go. We've got 3 little packages inside. Okay. And let's open up one of these packages. I can already smell it. Oh, look at the mold. Look how it's all divided up like that. So you can have any size taste you want. Teeny tiny taste, a bigger taste, a square. You got options in that packaging. It looks really good. It's got a nice shine to it. It looks like it's nicely tempered. Let's listen for a snap. It's a milk, so it won't be huge. Oh, it was solid but soft. That's because it's a milk bar. I'm going to take one of these fun little tiny squares. I find that Japanese candy is not only about a treat, but it's also about being fun. I kind of like that. So we've got 3 packages, so you don't have to eat it all at once. Let's give this a smell and see what we can smell. We'll just warm it up with my thumb, melt the cocoa butter and release the aromas a little bit. So when I smell this, I get fudge and caramel and hazelnuts. I think that was it. Chocolatey. Let's give it a taste. Okay, so when I taste this, I am actually surprised by how much that I like this. It is reminiscent of the Patrick OMG PB&J for me, a little bit. It's got a nice chocolatey flavor, sweet toffee when you first taste it, and then you get almost like a Reese's peanut butter cup thing going on, where you have the chocolate and the peanut nutty. It's not quite peanut, it might a little hazelnut, a little peanut mixed in there, and just at the end you get a teeny tiny bit of acidity that you could probably label as fruit. So I actually am surprised at how much I like this, considering it's coming from a huge candy manufacturer. So they've done a nice job with this one. I want to also open up these other ones. So let's move that one aside. So I want to try this Yuzu bar. So in the Yuzu, compared to the other ones, so you have here in the fruity, way out in the fruity, obviously, if it has Yuzu added, a little bit of bitter, a little bit of floral. I don't know how to interpret. I have trouble with these web things. They're very difficult for me to, as a scientist, understand quantitatively, what does this mean? It ends at that line, so it's nutty, but only over here on this part of the triangle? I don't know. So, yeah, those are the flavors we could possibly explore. So let's open this one up. Kawaii packaging again. This is the 67% Yuzu. I don't know what this is going to look like. I suspect that it won't have chunks of inclusion. That'll just be a flavor. Cute little bar again. Oh, this one's different. Look at that one. Cacao pods on it. Cute. It's a nice mold. They're doing chocolate well. It looks nice. It looks like it's got a nice temper on the back. Oh, you can see the little tiny squares. So it looks good as far as chocolate goes. Let's try a snap. This is a 67. So that had a pretty good snap. Nice fine grained. Let's check the aroma. When I smell, I get sweet and a floral and almost like a lemonade kind of flavor coming through. Let's give it a taste. All right, so this one, I quite like this one as well. So as soon as you pop it in your mouth, right away you're getting the Yuzu. Yuzu is most similar to a lemon. You get that citrus bang right away. Yuzu flavor first. Behind it, you get a little bit of a floral, like a citrus blossom, orange blossom, definitely floral. Not bitter at all until the aftertaste is a little bit bitter, and a very subtle nutty flavor. I wouldn't describe it at all as sour. I would describe it more as fruity, and really good. I like that one too. Okay, and the last one I wanted to open I just wanted to open this one. So this is a collection of the 6. So this has their Comfort Bitter, Elegant Bitter, Blossom Bitter, Velvet Milk, Sunny Milk, and Brilliant Milk. So I'm not going to open each one of them. I just kind of wanted you to see the packaging, because I really do love how much time and care they put into packaging. I may not be able to get it open. Let's see. I use a pencil. There we go. Oh, so each one comes. Oh, look at this, guys. I love this package. Look, for each one, it shows you the bar. It gives you the flavor profile, and each one comes in its own little package, in its own little pocket. Oh, how amazing. Wow, fantastic. If you wanted to, this is the perfect sampling bar for chocolate tasters like me. Wow, great package. I would love it if some American chocolate makers would make a package like this so I could sample their line without having to buy a huge bar each time. So that is Meiji chocolate. Let's just see if I have anything else from Meiji. The other one I have is just this big Christmas chocolate with the velvet milk that we tasted. So let's crack open some Kit Kats while we're here. You can see what they look like. So this one is the strawberry tiramisu. This one is the wasabi. This one is the cookies and cream. Oh, this one got a little melted. Here's the red bean. Oh, that one's a little bit, got a little bit of bloom on it. And last but not least, here's the mint chocolate. I don't have any red ones. They have red ones that you can get too, strawberry and other flavors, and they have some unique flavors that are Japanese, like cherry blossom and that sort of thing. All right, so let's turn the camera around and we can finish up. Okay, so that's Meiji chocolate. Meiji, the chocolate, in capital letters. The chocolate, not to be confused with any other chocolate. Fun packaging, shiny on the outside. I don't have much else to tell you about the company. Just it's got a long history in Japan, and there is a Meiji US now for distributing things in the US. That's why I have these Meiji chocolate mushrooms that are in English. They come in a different box. They come in a box, yellow and green box in Japan. You can get some Meiji products at your local Asian grocery store. I would suggest going there and seeing if you can find some of the chocolate, because they were surprisingly better than I thought they would be. So good job, Meiji, for seeking out the beans and making some great chocolate. Next week, I have no idea who we're going to be doing. We will be doing another chocolate maker for sure, and I hope that you will like and subscribe to this page so that every Thursday you can get a new video, and we'll see you then. Thanks.